What if the next world war isn't fought with bombs and missiles, but with currencies, technology, and trade? Right now, a silent economic war is unfolding between China and the United States, and most people don't even realize how much it's already shaping their lives. From the price of your smartphone to the stability of global markets, this hidden fight could decide the future of the world economy. 1. The roots of the rivalry. The US and China didn't start as direct economic enemies. For decades, China was seen as the world's factory, producing cheap goods for Western consumers. Meanwhile, the United States was the hub of finance, innovation, and consumption. But as China grew richer, it no longer wanted to remain just a factory. It wanted to become a global leader. This ambition set the stage for economic conflict. China's remarkable economic rise over the last 4 decades is unprecedented. From a largely agricultural society in the late 20th century, it transformed into the second-largest economy in the world. This rapid growth challenged the US, which for decades had enjoyed uncontested dominance. And when one rising power meets an established one, history shows tensions are almost inevitable. 2. The trade war. In 2018, tensions broke into the open when the US imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. Washington accused Beijing of unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, and manipulating its currency. China hit back with its own tariffs, targeting American farmers and businesses. Though both sides eventually negotiated, the scars of the trade war revealed the deeper mistrust driving this rivalry. For the US, it was about protecting industries and ensuring fair competition. For China, it was about standing firm and showing it would not be bullied by American pressure. The result was a stalemate that shook global supply chains and made companies rethink how dependent they were on one nation. 3. The technology battlefield. Beyond tariffs, the real battle is for control of technology. America still dominates in software, advanced semiconductors, and artificial intelligence research. But China is catching up fast, investing billions into 5G, renewable energy, electric vehicles, and AI-driven industries. Companies like Huawei and TikTok became symbols of this fight. Washington restricted their access to US technology, citing national security risks. Beijing responded by doubling down on homegrown innovation. At the heart of it all lies a critical question. Who will control the digital infrastructure of the future? Whoever wins this race could set global standards and shape the flow of information and power for decades. 4. The currency clash. Another hidden front is currency. The US dollar has long been the world's reserve currency, giving America unmatched influence over global trade and finance. Whenever countries settle oil deals, repay debts, or invest in global markets, the dollar often sits at the center. China, however, is working to challenge that dominance. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, it encourages partners to use the yuan for trade. It has also been developing a digital currency controlled by its central bank. If widely adopted, this could reduce dependence on the dollar and weaken US influence over international finance. A shift in global currency power would mark one of the most dramatic economic changes in modern history. 5. Global influence and allies. This rivalry isn't fought in isolation, it's fought across the world. The US strengthens alliances with countries like Japan, South Korea, and Europe, while China expands influence through Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. Infrastructure loans, military partnerships, and energy deals are all part of this invisible tug-of-war. To many developing nations, Chinese investment looks like an opportunity for growth, while US alliances promise security and technological expertise. Both powers are building networks of influence, hoping to tilt global opinion in their favor. 6. The risk of economic decoupling. Some experts warn that the world is heading toward decoupling, a future where the US and China build separate economic systems. Imagine 2 parallel worlds, one led by American technology, finance, and military alliances, and another shaped by Chinese manufacturing, infrastructure, and digital systems. If that happens, global trade could become fragmented. Companies would have to choose sides, supply chains would be disrupted, and innovation could slow down as the free flow of knowledge breaks into separate camps. For ordinary people, it could mean higher prices, fewer choices, and slower technological progress. 7. What it means for the future. For ordinary people, this silent economic war will shape everyday life. Prices of goods, access to technology, and even job opportunities will be influenced by the outcome of this rivalry. Investors watch carefully as financial markets react to every new policy announcement from Washington or Beijing. Businesses, too, are forced to adapt, choosing whether to align with U.S. standards or China's growing systems. The rivalry also raises ethical questions. How much control should governments have over technology? What happens if global cooperation collapses under economic nationalism? And how should smaller nations navigate a world where two giants are pulling in opposite directions? 8. The big question. At its core, the economic fight between China and the U.S. is about who will write the rules of the future. Will the U.S. maintain its position as the world's dominant power, or will China rise to reshape global systems in its own image? The answer isn't clear, but one thing is certain. This rivalry will not end soon, and its outcome will affect every corner of the globe. This economic struggle is not just a headline, it's a defining battle of our time. It will decide the balance of power in the 21st century, and its ripple effects will reach every economy, every business, and every household. Staying informed is the first step to being prepared. If you found this video insightful, consider subscribing and sharing it with others who care about the future of our global economy.